Welcome back to the Mind Your Self Defense channel. Today we're going to talk about holsters and positioning. The different types of holsters. I'm not going to cover every single kind of holster because there's too many out there, but the three main holsters that are out there and also the three main positions. Each holster is designed for whatever position you want to carry the firearm. So first, we have an inside the waistband holster. We have an outside the waistband holster, and we have an appendix holster. I'm going to show you guys each one in their proper location on the belt. All right. Now I am left-handed, so these are all left-handed holsters. If you're right-handed, just buy right-handed holsters, and the positioning is going to be opposite. The easiest way to understand the positioning would be the clock system. All right, so your belly button would be 12 o'clock, and then you start going clockwise. 12, 1, 2, 3. So the middle of your hip would be 3 o'clock. Your tailbone would be 6 o'clock. Your hip on the other side would be 9 o'clock, and then back to your belly button is 12 o'clock. Okay, so let's get into these. I'm going to start with, I'm using my Core Essentials belt. If you guys don't have Core Essentials, I highly recommend you guys grab them. I will do a product review on these Core Essentials. I've been using Core Essentials for about 5 years now, and I love them. All right, so anyways, if you guys don't know why, because it's a ratcheting system belt. I use it for work as my EDC, and I have my fashion belt to go out dinner with the wife and all that kind of stuff. Also like this, especially if you carry, I highly recommend you get a ratcheting belt, specifically Core Essentials, because they make great products. And I do have a discount code, rise above 10, you get 10% off any Core Essential item. So anyway, so the way you do this is you're going to put your belt, you're going to feed your belt through there. And like I said, because I'm left-handed, I have to feed it all the way through the whole belt. And there you go. You could hear the ratcheting system. All right. So now the holster is on the outside. So we're going to take my SIRT gun, which is a trainer gun with a magazine. Okay. You guys can see it's laser. Okay. So outside the waistband. The gun is on the other side of the belt. It is not touching my body. It is outside the belt, thus outside the waistband. It's that simple. Okay? So, let's go to the next position. Leave that under so you guys can see. So we could compare side to side. I'm making this up as I go, guys. I'm not scripting this. Okay, so now we have, this is a We the People holster. This is an inside the holster, inside the waistband. All right. So what that means is that the clip goes on the outside of the belt, like this. Okay, and you want a clip that bites down good. You don't want one that's really easy to put on over the belt, because what will happen is that when you go to draw the firearm, the holster could come with it. So you want to make sure it has a really good bite to it. So now, as you can see, here's our outside the waistband holster. So if I'm wearing the belt, the holster is on the outside of the belt. Where here, the holster is on the inside. So now, look at the difference here. This one is all bulky, but it's on the outside, so it doesn't matter. This one is nice and flat because this is touching my skin. This is touching my body. Okay, so you have outside the waistband, inside the waistband. In simple terms, if the holster is touching your body, it's inside the waistband. If your body is touching the belt and the holster's on the other side, it's outside the waistband. Okay, and then you have appendix carry, which means that you're going to carry this in the front where your tummy's at. Okay? Let me take this slack out. Okay, so if you look at the holster, it has two clips. It has one because it has a mag holder and it has the actual holster. So we're going to slide it over. Okay, so now I'm wearing the gun in front of me. Okay, and so this is how you would carry this thing in front of you, right? So this would be sitting right above right by my belly button. This is inside the waistband. If you could tell, they're very flat on the inside compared to the bulkiness of this one. This one's outside, so it doesn't really matter how bulky it is. Can you conceal these three? Yes. Appendix is probably the easiest one to conceal. Oh, actually, I take that back. The inside the waistband is probably the easiest one to conceal. All right. So this, like I said, is right above your tummy. You just wear a t-shirt over it. You're good. So this is inside your pants and your t-shirt's over that. Same thing with the inside the waistband. This one, outside the waistband, you could cover it with a shirt or a jacket. Comfort. If you're going to carry appendix, it takes a little getting used to because it is uncomfortable. I think out of the three, it's probably the most uncomfortable of all. Especially if you have a little gut like me, it's uncomfortable. I was all about appendix. I was trained, I've done a lot of dry firing and a lot of appendix carry, but now I'm got convinced to try the inside the waistband. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to favor this over this. And I'll make another video. I'll do a shooting video demonstrating both of them and why I am starting to favor this way more than this. Alright, like I said, that's a different video. Appendix carry is strictly in the front. We have our inside and outside the waistband holsters. It doesn't matter. If you're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. This is why I want both of them on at the same time. Okay. Positioning. Like I said, we're using a 12 o'clock position. So 12 o'clock being our belly button. And you can, theoretically, appendix carry with an inside the waistband holster instead of an appendix carry holster. Then you can move it to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, wherever. You could move it to 6 o'clock right behind your back. You don't need to buy a new holster to change the location of the holster. Outside the waistband, pretty much the same thing. If you want it on your hip, which would be the 9 o'clock position for a left-handed or a 3 o'clock position for a right-handed person, you don't need a different holster. You could slide it anywhere you want. If you want it farther back to the 7 o'clock position, you just slide it back. You don't have to buy another holster. Appendix carry, we've tested it, and the only place where I've really seen where it's practical besides what it's designed to do is if you have it on the small of your back. So it'd be the 6 o'clock position. which actually worked pretty good. The thing about that is that you would have to change the setup. Like my left-handed holster would work great for a right-handed person. And me being lefty, I would need a right-handed holster if I'm putting it behind my back. And you get that extra mag. It's not a bad thing. On the side, again, it's just they're interchangeable in the sense that the design is the same. These are designed to be inside the waistband. I need to do a little more testing on the sliding and see how it works at the 3 o'clock or at the 6 o'clock position. So I'll let you guys know about that. You might not need to buy all 3 holsters. You could get away with the inside the waistband. You could get away with all the positions as long as you're inside the waistband. Again, if you go outside the waistband with this, you got to switch the clip. So it's going to make, there's no holes for it to clip on here. But if you flip it over, if you take it off and turn it around, that's not going to help me as a left-handed person. It'll help a right-handed person. And that right-handed person could let me borrow their right-handed one, and I'll flip it and it'll turn it into a left-handed one. Okay, but as of right now, the inside of the waistband, to me, gives you more options. Because the appendix carry is an inside the waistband, it's just a little bulkier. I guess, no, it's about the same, now that I think about it. This one should be a little more versatile. I'll test it and I'll get back to you guys on that. Outside the waistband, it's like you could be as bulky as you want because it doesn't really matter because it's not putting pressure against your body. Alright, as far as sitting down and all that kind of stuff, outside the waistband is the most comfortable. Okay, appendix is the least comfortable if you have a little gut like I do. Inside the waistband is good because I normally carry at the 7, 8 o'clock position. So it allows me to sit down and I don't have to worry about shifting at the 9 o'clock or at the 3 o'clock position. It's sitting straight down, so it gets a little annoying when I'm driving. So I've noticed that 7:30ish position is very comfortable. I could drive and it doesn't affect me at all as far as comfort level is concerned. So these are my opinions. There are way more different kind of holsters out there. There's ankle holsters, there's shoulder holsters. But these are the 3 most common positions. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. Just train with it. Practice drawing the firearm from that position. This SIRT gun is a replica of my gun that I carry all the time, my Glock. So it fits the holsters perfect. I don't need to dry fire with my real gun. When I got this, I could even practice mag reloads. I don't want to release it too fast where it falls out. Okay? So look. So one of the drills that I was going to do, I'm going to do another video on, is I'm a football guy, so every Sunday I like watching football. I put a holster on. I have a target set up wherever I'm watching TV, whether it be in the living room or the kitchen. And during commercial breaks, I dry fire. I practice drawing my firearm during the whole entire commercial break. And then when the game starts again, I sit down, I enjoy the game. And when the next commercial breaks comes up, I start drawing again. You realize how many commercials there are during football? Think about how many reps you're getting. All right, if you want to challenge yourself, you could put a timer against you and go from there. There's a lot of ways you could do it. Okay, I'll make a video on that later on. But anyways, the most common positions: outside the waistband, inside the waistband, and appendix carry. There's a holster for all three of them. Do you need all three? It's up to you. Pick a position, try it out, get the holster for that position, and try it out. And then that's when you'll know if you need a different holster, or you might just need to adjust the location. Okay, some holsters have canting, which this outside the waistband, if you look, it's not pointing straight up and down. It has a little cant to it. Well, I could do that. I could adjust the back. I could have it this way, or I could have it this way, or I could cant it that way. All right, you want a holster that gives you adjustability. Do not skimp on a holster. More than likely, you didn't skimp on your gun. So you want a good gun? Well, guess what? You need to give it a good holster. All right? Don't skimp on a cheapy holster. Don't drive a Ferrari and put the cheapest tires on it. If you're going to drive a Ferrari, then get a set of tires that are designed for Ferrari, or at least capable of handling what the engine can do. Same thing with the holster. Don't buy a top-notch gun and a crappy holster. At least get a decent holster. It doesn't have to be a top-line holster, but at least make it a decent one. Okay? So if you guys like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.